Hi, in this video, I will explain the importance of objectives in managing an organization. First, we will compare aims versus objectives. So, what is an aim? Well, an aim is a long term intention. It is a starting point for setting objectives. It is usually qualitative. It's what a firm wants to accomplish in the future. On the other hand, an objective is based on an aim. It is more specific and closer in time. Objectives are most of the times tactical, and this can be set daily, weekly, or monthly. They are also measurable, which means they have quantitative or numerical elements, and they are creating in a form basis of action and strategy. There are organizational objectives set both in the private and public sector. These are some examples of organizational objectives in the private sector, like customer satisfaction, reputation and image, and long-term survival. Others can be to create a certain amount of profit in a certain amount of time. On the other hand, business objectives in the public sector can be to create equity, affordability, quality, and access. Objectives are important in order to facilitate decision making and strategy, to unify and motivate employees, to measure and control performance, and to communicate with shareholders. But how does setting objectives help meet these goals? Well, when there is an objective, people will understand what has to be done and will therefore create a plan and make the correct decisions to complete it. When employees know what the goal is, they understand what they have to do, and as a result, they will work together and will be encouraged to get things done. Additionally, when there is an objective, a business is able to know if they meet it or not. They will measure and control their performance in the process of completing the goal. Finally, it is important for the shareholder to know what the business wants to accomplish. They have to believe that the business will be able to achieve certain goals. Shareholders should have interest and trust on the objectives that the business sets. Now I'm going to explain the purpose of mission and vision statements and analyze the role of these statements in an organization. There are three important concepts to understand. These are aims and the mission and vision statements. Aims are long term intentions and are the starting point for setting objectives. Also, they are usually qualitative or categorical. A mission statement details the aims and values of a firm, in other words, what the enterprise can achieve. It broadly states the underlying purpose of the business. Additionally, it guides individual behavior and informs investors about the aim and the vision. Overall, it defines the organization's purpose and primary objectives, stating that who we are and what we do. With a mission statement, people know what the business is and relate it to its purpose. Its employees should be fired up to work in it. On the other hand, a vision statement is similar to a mission statement but tends to be more long term. It is a general statement looking at where the business desires to be in the future and the values that it will take with it along the way. This is an example for the mission and vision statement for the Toys R Us company. When life leaves you high and dry, I'll be at your door. Now we will distinguish between objectives, strategies, and tactics, and discuss how these interrelate. The aim is what the organization wants. The objective is what it needs to achieve in order to get what it wants. The strategy represents the actions that facilitate an organization to meet its objectives. Finally, tactic refers to the short-term actions that help achieve the strategy. These four concepts are connected because you need objectives in order to get to your aim. Then strategy will help you get there, and the tactic used will help you achieve that strategy. In this diagram, we can see it's a process. Once a firm meets its goal, it starts a new one. This diagram shows how a business first sets aims and then achieves the goal, after going through all of the process using objectives, strategies, and tactics. MBOs or management by objectives is the process of management and employees agreeing on objectives for the organization. This is to ensure that they understand the objectives, feel that they can be achieved, and that they can be part of the process. They are used to help a firm improve its targets. For these objectives to be effective and successful, they need to be SMART, which means they have to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time specific. This triangle shows the MBOs of a corporation. At the top of the pyramid, they are the aims, which in this case are to remain committed to the interests of the stakeholders. Following are the corporate objectives or the goals of the whole organization, which, for example, are to increase profits of all divisions of 10% per year. Following are the divisional objectives, which are strategic and can be wide ranging or long term goals. In this case, this is that within one region to increase market share by 10% and cut overheads by 5%. Then the other departmental objectives, which are tactical. These are measures adopted to deal with short term opportunities or threats. In the case of marketing, this is to increase profits by 10%, and in the case of finance, to reduce long-term borrowing by 5%. In the R&D is to develop one innovative product each year. Finally, there are the individual targets, which are operational. In this case, in the marketing department, it is to increase sales by an average of 5% per client and to introduce 5 more clients to a business each year. Through this diagram, we can now see how corporations divide their aids by categories.
Tonight, if you need help, I'll shut down the city lights. I'll